Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ability Podcast with Damo Eddy. On this episode of the podcast, we'll be interviewing Brian from Virtual Reality Therapy. Before we get into it, we want to say a special thank you to our sponsors, Be Cognitive. Be Cognitive offer psychosocial recovery coaching and mental health counselling, Plan Partners Plan Management, and FlexCare Allied Health Services. FlexCare offer occupational therapy, physiotherapy, exercise physiology, podiatry and therapy assistance. They're an NDIS registered provider that operate across Metro Adelaide. Enjoy the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. We're live at the Onkaparinga Disability Expo.
Yes, we are.
Brought to us by Plan Partners. My name's Eddie. This is Damo.
Hey guys.
And today we are talking with the amazing Brian from Be Cognitive and Virtual Reality Therapy. How are you doing today, man?
I'm really good. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. I guess to start with, Damien and I, we first met well before our podcast even started at an expo.
Yes, that seems to be the place where we all meet these days.
It's been love at first sight, would you say?
Absolutely. Big bromance is happening.
Damien and I had the pleasure of meeting, talking about services for clients, and I think a big encouragement for clients and participants is go out to an expo, meet with people, ask questions, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best way to find your providers. It's how I found most of mine.
Absolutely. I mean, there's one thing to Google services and chat with someone on the phone, but to meet with people, get a feel for providers, understand who they are is a whole other thing, would you say?
Absolutely, and I think with Googling your providers, you're going to get a million answers. Whereas if you go to one of these expos, you can basically look for yourself and, you can just gauge your own opinion on what you think fits you and what doesn't. And you get to meet really, really cool people like Brian.
You just get to vibe it out, and if you're not happy with them, you can still take a pen.
That's right, or a chocolate bar.
Awesome. So we are absolutely privileged to be here with Brian and hear all about him and his services and the things that Be Cognitive and Virtual Reality Therapy are doing. So, my man, over to you. We want to hear about your passion, what you're up to, and your services.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Good job.
Where were we? Bromance.
No, we're past the bromance. Unless you want a bromance.
Now I want to be part of the bromance.
Okay, good.
I've decided.
Three-way. Let's go.
My passion is mental health. I'm a former lawyer turned mental health advocate, and now I run my own business, Be Cognitive.
Yep.
Be Cognitive has a sister enterprise called Virtual Reality Therapy Australia. VR therapy, as it is a COVID baby. During COVID, I was working as a psychosocial recovery coach through Be Cognitive, and all the services related to mental health stopped. We were one of the few who were still going, and that's how we started, and that's how we've grown, by being innovative.
Awesome. And what type of people would you think would inquire about your service?
It's a wide range. We have primarily psychosocial disabilities. We can almost definitely exclude physical because it doesn't have a physio component to it, but intellectual disabilities, challenging behaviors, disorders around ASD, all that.
Yeah. And how do people access your services? And if you have an office, whereabouts are you located?
So right now we're in the city, 263 Sturt Street, and anyone can access our services. Just go to the website www.becognitive.com.au or www.vrta.com.au, fill out a referral form, and usually services would start within 48 hours.
Awesome.
My question for you, my man, is around, give us a case example, good news story. What sort of people are coming to you, and what are the goals they're achieving through virtual reality?
Generally, we have big goals around psychosocial disabilities and challenging behaviors. A big one is, one of my clients is 002. He's been with me from day one. Schizophrenia, so loud voices. In the VR therapy sessions is one of the few times where he's either the voices are muted or the voices are reduced. That's right, and the basic concept of VR is it tricks your mind into thinking it's somewhere it's not. You think you're going up an escalator, stairs, elevators, you're in public, but you're actually not there. So having your brain focus on whatever is happening gives somebody a break from those voices, and those are some of the big wins.
So maybe some of the popular misconceptions about people with virtual reality is like, oh, you're just sitting in front of a computer all day. It's not at all the case. It's about people really exploring some of their fears or some things they want to achieve and sort of, I guess, moving forward, really capacity building, would you say?
See, VR is complicated. Picture this, part of the biggest cost within the NDIS landscape is travel. With us, we ship a headset to you and immediately receive the headset, the service can begin immediately. Now, it's not a gaming tool, it's a therapeutic tool. So you have a mental health counselor or an accredited mental health social worker on the other side of it. So somebody who will guide you through the process. Our price point is based on the mental health counseling. Once you have the headset, you download the app or you get one of our headsets that's already pre-installed, you have access to over 230 different virtual reality environments. That's 230 different environments that people can access. Now, I didn't design them. I'd love to say that I did, but they've been designed by psychologists and psychiatrists, people who are a lot smarter than me, to target specific issues. It's unbelievable.
So if somebody has the goal of being in a social setting or going to the park, they're trialing what that experience would be like in the comfort of their own home, and the brain is tricked into being like, we are here now and someone's talking you through it. Is that right?
That's right.
Epic. Are we going to have a try today? Is that what we've got here? No?
I'll show it to you.
Okay, I want to see it. Let's have a look at it, man.
So,
I want to see Eddie walk into a wall.
don't dare me. We can make that happen.
Please.
Now, what we have here is some of our most popular headsets. All you need is a smartphone or access to somebody with a smartphone. You pop your phone at the top, you download the app, pop your phone in, you close the headset, and you have access to it.
I think you can do that with the PlayStation VR headsets. You can put your phone in as well, I think.
The one I have, you can't. It's already pre-installed.
Okay.
But you see, again, because it's not a toy, it's not for gaming, it works.
Eddie, that was such a good look. Put it back. Put it back on.
But he needs to adjust it. That's a problem of having a big head.
He does have a big head, yes.
Hey, I like that. Thank you for keeping it honest.
He actually got a big head from me, so that's okay.
Honesty is the best policy, right?
Yes. I had to share my ego with him.
But the idea is accessing therapy at home. If you have social anxiety, going to see your counselor is tricky. It's an event.
That is beautiful.
What's up, bro?
What's up? Keep it on.
It's very lightweight.
Keep it on for the
And
rest.
that's it. That's the first thing. It's very
Maybe.
lightweight.
Keep it on for the rest of the podcast.
Why would you do that to him?
Do it.
Awesome. Brian, I don't have too many other questions, mate. Do you?
I've got one more for Brian before we leave,
Thanks, man.
and this one's going to get your brain juices flowing a little bit, hopefully. Okay, so I have a 14-year-old son. He's autistic, ADHD, auditory processing disorder, and he's got agoraphobia, which is obviously scared of the outdoors. Since the age of 18 months old, he has had a absolute panic-inducing fear of anything that is a bug, whether it be a spider, an ant, a fly, a bee, a wasp, whatever, cockroaches, everything. So my question to you, actually, no, I'll keep going. He saw a psychologist for nearly 3 years, and that didn't even touch the sides of his fear. They did consider immersion therapy, where he would go to a garden and touch a bee or whatever. But they decided against that because they just generally didn't want to give the poor kid a heart attack. So my question to you, could something like that be treated with ongoing virtual reality therapy?
And this is what VR is built for. That exact situation. we don't consider ourselves a replacement therapy. If anything, we are an extra tool in the toolbox. We step in when certain strategies haven't worked. So with VR, it's all about immersion therapy. So he's scared of being outdoors, we can put him outdoors.
Right.
The only difference is, if he's feeling a little bit overwhelmed, all he needs to do is lift him
Yeah.
or drop him. He's scared of bees, we can have a bee in the same room, but miles away.
Yeah.
We can have it close to him, whatever he needs. And if he's feeling overwhelmed, VR is intense. Our software detects eye movements, so it can tell you when he's extremely heightened,
Yeah.
and you can then interject or you can intercept and start providing mental wellness. You can start providing audio guides to help him calm down. This is what it is built for.
Or if he's okay, you can add another bee to the room.
That's right.
So you can swarm him with a million bees.
No, hopefully not.
Please.
That might be a bit illegal.
Maybe.
And we actually like him, right?
Sometimes. When he's in bed with snake.
But this is where VR thrives. This is where, when we say we are complementary tool, our biggest referrals come from psychologists and positive behavior support practitioners, which was a big surprise to us. We always thought that support coordinators would be our feeders. No, they're not. Your PBSPs, your psychologists, and they know. A big win for us is we had a young girl, every time she'd get into the car, she'd get heightened and she'd start hitting support workers.
Yeah.
Now, every time she's going shopping before she leaves, she starts a VR session. When she's in the car, she's in a VR session. Zero incidences of violence on support workers. Zero.
So could your VR service cure something like car sickness?
Oh, I'm not sure. Motion sickness?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I'd have to check with the responsible people. But what it can do is for people who are scared of driving or being driven in cars,
Yeah.
you can start somebody in the back passenger seat. You can then put them in the front passenger seat. You can then put them as a driver with the car stationary. You can then have them drive for a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. You can progressively immerse them into that.
Awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Well, maybe you and I need to have a chat later about my Sunday.
With mate traits.
But, well, I have no NDIS as mine, so it doesn't matter.
But you see, this is why it should matter. I believe that the NDIS is built for services like VRTL.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
We don't need any more run-of-the-mill services. We need people to be innovative. We need people to think outside the box and say, okay, there's 10,000 providers providing this type of service, but what's my skill set? What am I good at?
Yeah, you could probably get me talking about that subject all day.
No, thank you.
It's not a
Maybe tomorrow. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Brian, I want to thank you heaps, man, for taking the time and for sharing your passion. I totally agree. We all need to find our niche in this market. We're dealing with a huge population of different people, man, so we need to be creative. I want to be a big shout out to the team at Shift, Caleb and Ethan. We met these guys in the fly, having a coffee next door, and they were able to hook us up with this. So
You guys are
big shout out
legends,
to
thank
them.
you.
They're all around the Disability Expos, doing their thing and creating great content to promote our work. Big shout out to you guys, and thank you to Plan Partners for putting today on.
And thank you, Brian, again.
You. Thanks, mate.
Thanks
Bye.
so much. Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
Cool. Awesome. You guys killed it.